to see this being such a close matchup between the two, on whether or not either of them will take any huge gambles or not.
I think Will. Oh, yep, classic 20 rupees. I think Will indeed probably take risks, especially in Ganon's tower. He's pretty often.
Yeah, he generally does go to right side more often if he gets those keys at the beginning there. So these two are synced right at the beginning. Falling at the same frame and everything. This is definitely exciting.
Yeah, as they're saying in the chat, this is one of the battle of the commentators.
Exactly. So one of the things that, oh, never mind. I was gonna say one of the things that they're gonna be looking for is bombs, but looks like they got their first bombs already. Yeah. It's commentator anti-curse. I'll just start spewing names of items that they can get, and they'll start finding them in that order.
It's the commentator blessing. That sounds awesome.
So they got three bombs off the beginning. So that'll at least give them access to the escape area, as well as they might use the last two bombs to get into the places in Kakariko that require it. They'll need a couple extra bombs afterwards, but with the amount of chests and everything that are in Kakariko, the probability of them finding bombs there is actually quite high.
Yeah, it's going to be almost certain that they'll find some more bombs by the time they end up needing to drop that third one. Unless, of course, mistakes are made, which it could happen.
Uh-oh. Is that the commentator curse coming out?
Let's hope not.
So, oh, more bombs! Well, there you go. They definitely don't need any more bombs, at least for Kakariko. Yeah, we definitely got ourselves our complete bomb set here.
Yep, and just to answer from chat for a minute, yeah, that timer DT is using is indeed the Mr. Saturn font that you may see from Earthbound. That is indeed what that font is.
So, finding 5 rupees in Zelda's dungeon there.
Yeah, pretty, save for the bombs, pretty sparse escape so far, but you know.
Yeah, both players going to be hoping for, before they get to Kakariko, a bottle and 100 rupees in order to fully clear Kakariko without having to come back for anything that's commonly forgotten.
Yeah, and they're going to, let's see, well, they already have 6 bombs, so that actually takes them through about the first 15 minutes of gameplay. I'm expecting both runners to take the standard route of just probably checking out Lost Woods and then heading down through Kakariko. Likely then heading to, depending on what they find, I'd expect the dam area and Mini Moldor Cave, but from there I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it depends also if they happen to find a power glove in Sank Chest or even in the escape still. The next chest is guaranteed to be a small key, but they still have the 3 in the bombable wall there that they can get.
I believe, was the map already found? I think it may have been.
I don't believe so, actually. So far, it's been 3 bombs, another 3 bombs, 5 rupees. But I could be mistaken.
Yeah, no, I suppose that's, yeah, bombs, rupees, and then this is the 4th chest. So yeah, we haven't seen map yet.
DT
so we
getting
don't know if
excellent.
We're going to be seeing that.
DT getting excellent snake room RNG. Willard, unfortunately, getting blocked by a couple, has to use a couple extra sword swings. Not a not a major time loss, but when it comes down to frames, which the first race was very, very close between these two. So you never know. It could still come down to that Ganon fight. Any second counts.
In this very tournament, race is decided by single-digit seconds, so every frame does matter.
So we're getting our first look here. 20 rupees. There's the burrito and 300 rupees.
300
Yeah.
rupees. Excellent. That's gonna hopefully save us on potential farming later.
So they, depending upon what they'll find, in order to check Zora, they'll either need flippers or power glove, or if they decide to fake flipper, they can skip all of that and just head straight there. But that could potentially cause a sequence break, which might lead them away from an item that they were supposed to pick up. So,
And in these, we are using, since we're using the V18 logic in these tournament seeds still, the breadcrumb trail is pretty strong. Trail of breadcrumbs, it can lead you way out of the way.
yeah, absolutely. And they did happen to get a green bottle in the sanctuary chest, which means they are going to be able to check Sick Kid, which is definitely a huge weight off their shoulders. I'm sure not having to come back to check that later. So we're getting our first tree pull here, some fairies.
Fairies from the middle pack. And it looks like...
So they're gonna kill a couple enemies here. Screen transition for Willard, and I think he might go back to see... Oh, maybe not. So it looks like the item on the ledge is just 20 rupees. Potentially not AGA 1 required. We shall see. Could still be AGA 1 required if there's something like... if there's something progressive on the pyramid ledge there. Looks like finding 100 rupees dropped in the woods.
Yeah, and in this tournament especially, we've been seeing a lot of action on the side of the pyramid there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the rate which, when we were originally testing seeds, was about 75%, which is quite high. Look, another bottle.
Alright, and we've got DT and Willard and pretty only about a screen apart from each other heading into Kakariko. What we find, and that's gonna really start to determine the route for the rest of the entire run, so I think it's a little while longer, but that is not gonna last more than probably not another 5 to 6 minutes before things likely start to diverge.
Yeah, it's very rare that a seed will take them exactly in one direction. Normally we'll split off, but this house seems to be giving them absolutely nothing good. No.
Wow, yeah, nothing at all.
Nope, not a single thing. 20 rupees, some heart pieces, some arrows. This is definitely not what they want to see right off the beginning. So hopefully this well gives them a little bit of something good.
Yeah, hopefully the seed will show a little mercy and throw them something like the flute, perhaps.
Yeah, getting flute now would be really nice. I mean, yeah. There's the red boomerang. That's something. Oh, and the cane of Samaria and the mirror shield and silver arrows.
All right.
There we go. We finally found... Yeah, we finally found the treasure trove in Kakariko. that was brilliant. So that was the new hype well, I guess. So 20 rupees from the chicken house, a little bit of love from the bottle vendor. So we'll get to see what Sick Kid has here in a second as well.
Oh, DT appears to be buying more bombs.
Yeah, he's probably thinking about if he happens to get any items that could lead him up Death Mountain, he's going to want some bombs for that. If he gets access to East Death Mountain, or even potentially, he'll have one bomb. He would have had one bomb for the Mini Moldorm Cave, but would not have had enough bombs for Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, and it looks like Willard lost one of his bombs in the chicken house. It also looks like we got the mushroom from the sick kid there. I'm starting to wonder why this kid's sick.
Yeah, no wonder he's sick.
He's eating all kinds. Yeah.
So Willard also heading in here to grab some extra bombs. Looks like Library is holding a wonderful 20 rupees. I doubt that either player is going to go back to pick that up once they have boots. And another 20 rupees sitting on the ledge at the maze race. So it looks like DT will be heading down towards either Dam or the Mini Moldorm Cave. Pretty standard routing for most players. And Willard just checking out the maze race item, is also going to be saving and quitting, heading to Link's house. Or in his character's, Duet's house. So neither of them have either the hook shot. Ooh! The hook shot or the mirror, so they can't do the glitch there, but finding the butter sword. So, best sword right off the bat.
Gold sword, silver arrows. They've got it.
Yeah, they're not gonna have any issues with Ganon, that's for sure. when it comes to equipment for that. Now they're just looking for some red mail or blue mail. And they'll be fully decked out.
It looks like DT opting to take the bomb capacity upgrade. Interested to see if Willard does the same.
Give him a little more boom for his buck, I guess. So yeah, it looks like he's also
Willard
getting the
going for
bomb
capacity.
upgrade. So we get to see our first Mini Moldorm Cave, 10 arrows, 50 rupees. A capacity upgrade, another bottle. That's 3 bottles now, isn't it?
They've found quite a bit of potion, one of each color at this point.
Yeah, 3 bottles already, jeez. Unfortunately, that bomb for Willard missed.
For these players, those 3 potions may well last them the entire... That may be all they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we're going to see our first fake flippers here from DT. He's going to head straight over to, I think, the hobo. He's about 14 rupees short from going to Zora. As well as he doesn't have the flippers. He could see what's on the ledge item, or he could see what the ledge item is, but he wouldn't be able to access it yet.
Yeah, certainly not without, what would certainly count as major glitches.
So here we go. Here comes Hobo. What does he have? He has another bottle! Okay, well, they found all 4 bottles. So 4 out of 4 for bottles here. Fairy, they've got 1 of each type. The only thing they're missing is B. No B for B-Torp. So looks like DT might be heading over to the witch, I believe, to drop off that mushroom.
Yeah, finding a trade quest item this early is... I'd say there's a pretty good chance that the witch is going to have something. Hopefully, maybe the hookshot or hammer or something really useful, though. Likely something a little less exciting like the book, but we'll see.
So Willard actually fake flippered out of the hobo cave. That's something that you don't commonly see because potentially could end up soft locking you.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to overshoot that jump. If you go just 1 pixel too far, hitting the water, you are hosed.
Yep, and you'd have to restart. So he luckily gets it perfectly and heads over to Sahashila's hut while DT picks up some love for the mushrooms. So we're about to see what is Sahashila hiding in his hut. Arrow upgrade, bomb upgrade, and the mirror!
Mirror! Alright, that's gonna... Well, at this stage, not open up particularly much, but... Doesn't take adding much to that to really blow things wide open.
Yeah, just need to find ourselves the power glove.
Yeah, and that will, of course, give our runners access to Tower of Hera. Which
So
I don't
both
think has...
I don't believe either of them have checked their map yet, no. So it looks like now Willard is heading over to go drop off his his shrooms for love.
And it looks like rather than scoping out Eastern, DT has decided to head on over to Agate Tower. So we're going to be finding out relatively soon what's on that pyramid.
Yeah, anyone have any guesses? They still haven't checked Agina's cave, so there might be something up there that they don't know. So this could be a huge advantage, or it could be a complete waste of time. But it looks like Willard is also heading there as well.
Yeah, I think, what does everyone in chat think? I'm gonna personally go with Boots.
Boots would be really nice to get about now. You know what would really open this up is Titan's Mitts. And
oh yeah,
that would give them access to Death Mountain. And then if they happen to find the hook shot or Moon Pearl up there, or both, that would be awesome as well. They need something like either the book or some sort of lift upgrade, flute. That's kind of what they're looking for at the moment. Something that'll give them... Yeah, that's correct. And they both currently have access to Eastern as well. Although they can't finish it, they can still go in it, which means there could potentially be something in there.
Seeing a lot of large magic drops.
Yeah, unfortunately, besides the Kane and Samaria, they don't really have anything that's really useful for at the moment.
And we have DT made his way very nearly to the top of Agate Tower, so going to be on the side of that pyramid in just another minute or two.
Yeah, no net, so no swagging him today. At least no swagging him one. So here we go. DT entering the first Aghanim fight, as Willard is very close behind. So depending upon what they find here, we might see these players take a little bit of a different route from each other. But it's really interesting to see, again, how on par they are with their strategies. Both going very similar routes. And they do also play a lot together as well and practice a lot together. So that also could contribute to the fact that their routing is pretty similar. So
All right, with Aga 1 down on DT's end of things, we're gonna see right now what the pyramid holds for us. Final guesses, everyone.
flippers.
Interesting. Well, I think a trip to Zora is...
Yeah, I think DT gonna be heading to Zora. He's gonna need about 7 more rupees though before he heads over there. So where Willard's gonna find that, Willard's gonna find those flippers and head straight there because he has more than enough at the moment.
Yeah, DT unfortunately gonna be caught with 7 rupees worth of farming.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of the guards are only dropping that magic. So he's gonna be looking from other enemies here to see what he can find. Probably gonna be hoping that the Zoras drop something, or maybe that there's rupees on the ledge there. He also hasn't checked Ice Rod Cave yet, so that could be also where he's headed. If there's 20 rupees in there, which is a pretty high probability, then at least he'll have something. So look like Willard is going to mirror closer. There we go, and he's gonna hop right in to the water. Oh, unfortunately, not low enough. Gets caught there and has to mirror back. Oh my god!
My word.
The flute! They found the flute. DT finds the flute in Ice Rod Cave. Early access, there we go. That could have been the access to Death Mountain that we were referring to before.
DT making a very good play, taking that whirlpool there, gonna head straight for Kakariko, not needing to save and quit or mess around at all.
Yeah, and Willard is right behind him, and he's going to be getting it as well. All right,
Interesting
guys.
to see the minor differences in the way they met. Oops. Uh-oh.
It's all good. We will do it on Willard's turn. Willard will be picking it up and heading straight there as well.
It's interesting to see the very small differences in how each runner gets to where they're going. Time it adds here and there. Taking a whirlpool versus saving and quitting.
All right. It's gonna be some Swag Duck Anthem time in honor of DT and Willard's last race together on the tournament. So get hyped, guys. This is it. Here we go. Willard the Superstar versus DT the Swag Duck King. What item will troll them? No one really knows. Ice Rod, Cane, or Bow. This match decides it all. Who will move ahead, DT or Will?
And the chat goes wild. And while you were serenading us all with that lovely Swag Duck anthem, I believe we spotted the Titan's mitts in Zora's domain.
And the shovel on the ledge at Desert. So another fetch quest. Zora, unfortunately, only giving 20 rupees. So he got swindled.
A hard life lesson.
So the thing is seeing those items on the ledge. It's really
Power gloves only.
Yeah. It's really hard when you see the shovel on the ledge there because you have no idea what it's gonna lead to.
Yeah, it's just more time invested because you have to get the shovel and then you have to go digging. If it's nothing, you've wasted even more time.
Exactly.
Worse yet,
So I
when
don't.
you see something like, sorry, continue.
Sorry, I was gonna say. Somebody has already marked the crystals and pendants. Apparently, I was not paying attention when that happened. But
Yeah, I believe Willard mirrored briefly after they got to the pyramid.
so looks like Desert Palace is a pendant too. So knowing that the shovel is on the ledge and there's the book, I personally would make the trip into Desert Palace because the seed tends to be leading them right there.
Yeah, shovel in a location like that, given this version of the logic, I would say has a pretty high chance of yielding something of potential value.
So they have the mirror, they have the book, they have the butter sword, they can check Ether Pedestal, which has been a trolley item location, and DT finds the moon pearl! That's awesome!
Yeah, that is huge, and with Dark World access now, they've got, a bit to get around. They're still gonna need to find that bow and that hammer, though, before they can really dig into the dungeons.
Yeah, if they happen to find either the hammer, the hook shot, Titan's mitts, they could end up fully clearing Death Mountain if they happen to find that while they're in Tower of Hera. One of those, at least.
Now, Willard opting to not get the moon pearl yet.
Might
Maybe.
save it. Depending upon what's in here, he might opt to go down again. Aw, unfortunately, just 20 rupees.
Yeah, he may be potentially going to do Hera first and then jump back down.
There we go. Now we see Thieves Town, and Thieves Town Ice Palace is the green pendant, which, yuck. For me, anyways.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's not a good sign.
No, I definitely don't think either of them wants to see the green pendant at Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's gonna be that lingering anxiety now for the whole rest of until they're in go mode, basically.
Yep. What
Back in
if?
your mind.
Yeah. What if
if?
Sahashala has something good?
Yeah, the only thing worse than that, the only thing worse, is mushroom in the pedestal. Because then you don't even know if you're wasting a huge amount of time.
Yeah. Mushroom and pedestal sounds terrible. Or shovel and pedestal. Ugh. So Willard has found the blue Willard and DT has found the blue rupee in the basement at Hera. There is one more item that they do need to find, I believe. And I'm hoping that, or they're hoping that it's not in the bottom room because they don't have a fire source in order to access it.
With any luck, Moldorm here will drop this right now. Willard taking care of him very quickly.
Oh, finds
map.
finds the burrito. Looks like Link is hungry.
Yeah, and it looks like these runners are gonna have to come back with fire some later time, which is more a little piece of anxiety that's gonna be sitting in the back of their mind while they're just trying to get through their seed.
Yep, absolutely. So they have the Moon Pearl, they have the Power Glove. Moon Pearl, at least, they have defeated Aghanim, so they can do Catfish. They've got the Mirror, so unfortunately no Hammer or Hook Shot, so they're going to not be able to, at the moment, access most of the Dark World.
Yeah,
They're going to need to find something.
They don't really have what they need to really clear dungeons, which is unfortunately the problem we're seeing right now. They need something to work with here.
Yep, it could be Catfish. Willard looks like he might be heading to Catfish. Definitely a good option. There's also Eastern Palace. It is a crystal dungeon, so if they did decide to hop into it, they would have to go there twice because they don't have the bow. But if they do happen to find something, you know, there's 3 items in Eastern Palace in comparison to 1 at Catfish. So, and it looks like DT is also heading to Desert, so... This could be interesting. DT can't complete it yet because he doesn't have a fire source either. So he's going to run into the same issue as Tower of Hera potentially, unless there's a fire source in here.
Yeah, and without the boots, he may in fact only be able to check besides the glyph item, so... Oh, but he does find a small key, so that's good for DT.
It gives him a little bit more access. I didn't see if he had checked the other room to see what's on the torch. He has the mirror, so it might have been a good idea to at least check to see what was there. Oh my word! God, the Titansmiths? Oh, well, he has access to Dark World now, and the big key.
Oh, that is spectacular.
So if that other item is sitting on the torch and it's something like a rupee, then he only needs to come back eventually if he needs to clear the dungeon for the pendant. Oh, 5 arrows. There you go. He's gonna head out of here probably to grab that shovel.
Yep, the 2 items have been located. One of them is worthless. Time to leave.
So yeah, with Titansmiths being in there, as well as Book being on Death Mountain, as well as the Ice Rod Cave being the place where they found the flute, they actually did not need to do Egg 1.
That is very true.
So both of them are, when they find those Titansmiths, they might be thinking to themselves, "Oh no, what happens if I just wasted 5 minutes on Egg 1 when the other person did not?" Because there wasn't anything on the ledge that really made it. That was a little bit glitched on Willard's screen. It was an interesting looking mitt, half rupee, half mitt.
That is happens when you do not collect King Zora's item. The item can display as a fragment of what King Zora's item that you didn't collect was. So since he threw the 20 rupees, you saw a chunk of a 20 rupee graphic. Had he thrown... see a chunk of boomerang.
Dark Magician, hashtag blame Carcat.
Yep. That is entirely my fault too.
So we're about to see what is in the Haunted Grove here, and it's a bow!
Alright, and with Eastern being a crystal dungeon, I expect we're gonna see DT heading... I don't know, he's heading to town.
DT finds the D in his name. Haha! So it looks like Willard is about to get his Titansmiths. There is more chests in Kakariko than there is in Eastern, so definitely not a bad play.
It's certainly not bad.
And again, because of the logic that they're currently playing in, Thieves Town has an extremely high probability of having a good item, so stopping in there to take a look, even though it's a pendant dungeon, they may find something worthwhile.
Yeah, very true. And since this is a V8.18 seed, these players are also able to use the chest game to farm 100 rupees at a time. Well, 70, I suppose, since you have to pay 30 to play.
So DT finding a, what is it, plastic shield, fighter shield, whatever you want to call it.
Shield.
Yeah, he happens to find that, and with Randomizer, you can never downgrade, so he's never going to have anything less than the mirror shield at this point. So because he picked up the shovel, he has to change over to the flute in order to head to the grove. So just a little piece of heart there. DT has Titan's mitts and he has the mirror, so he can take the blacksmith home, but you can't take the blacksmith or the purple chest over to the digging game. So it is optimal actually to head over to the digging game first and then head back to start the chain of quests for the blacksmith.
Yeah, this way saves them from having to backtrack all the way back to Kakariko when they're done. Easier to just backtrack a single screen. Now, finding the powder, though, so that actually is spectacular routing-wise, giving them additional items that they can get around the smith area.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to see what Magic Bat has because he does have the mirror. You only require either the mirror, well, and of course being in Dark World, or the hammer, and of course the magic powder to get the magic bow drop, or the magic bat drop. Jeez.
Yeah, interesting to note that actually the first seed ever that had something that randomized that magic bat actually placed the hammer there.
Really? That is trolly. So the blacksmith's giving Link a little bit of love.
They appreciate all he's done for him.
Alright, so looks like we might get a chance to see what the magic bat has in store. Willard opting to do the exact same thing that DT just did. Go to the digging game, grab the items there. And by items, I mean magic powder.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, despite the minor divergences, most of their routes seem to be weaving around each other.
And the fire rod! They have a fire source! DT picking up the fire rod at the magic bat.
And certainly the more useful of the two fire sources, as this one gives them access to Skull Woods, among other things.
Absolutely. Willard probably will also be heading over to grab his... actually, no, it looks like he's going to start routing south here. So, maybe because he doesn't have the hook shot?
Willard also didn't use his shovel yet.
Oh, but he finds Ether. It's the Harry Potter medallion.
See, I think Willard's he's come this way so that he can way to the shovel, so he can just route the shovel spot into everything else he's doing.
Yeah, you know what? He could have picked up. Honestly, he could have dropped off the blacksmith and picked up the purple chest and taken the purple chest all the way through here as well, though.
That is true.
He is going to have to come back for all that. But he might opt to just flute down to... He might opt to flute with the chest because he does have the flute. But then he can't check Bombos if he does it that way, so... It really depends.
Bombos right now.
Yeah, it looks like he might head to Hype Cave first, though. So guys, let's see some hype for Hype Cave. What do you guys think is going to be in Hype Cave? Any guesses?
What's your personal guess?
Oh boy, at this point, they've found a lot of decent items that can get them into things. I think both of them are looking for the hammer. The hammer would be something that's super hype.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the hook shot.
Oh, quick! It's the Quack Medallion, guys. Single rupee, 20 rupees, 5 arrow upgrade, and the boots!
The boots.
Oh, he finds the boots. Very, very nice call on the boots there. Yeah, we got a Hype Cave tease for a second, but it delivered in the end. With Misery Mire and Turtle Rock both being required dungeons. Having 2 medallions, pretty safe bet that at least one of those will be either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. So we shall see.
Yeah, interesting to note that we do not know at all at this stage, despite the fact that both runners, in fact, have access to Misery Mire. We do not at this stage know what... Well, they have access to Turtle Rock, but with Mire access, we have still not yet seen exactly what's needed to get in.
Yeah, they neither of them have hookshot or hammer yet, so they haven't been able to go to Eastside Death Mountain. So that'll be interesting to find where or see where they're gonna find one of those items. So DT looks like he's about to pick up his boots, and I'm sure he's gonna be super hyped to find that. So, looks like Palace of Darkness and Misery Mire are crystals 5 and 6 according to our lovely tracker here. So, we are probably going to, let's see, what could possibly be at the double-chested fairy? I guess Ice Rod?
Let's see, it was Mire and what now?
Mire and Pod. So Hammer can't be there, Lantern can't be there, Hookshot could be there.
Hookshot, it could be a Bombo's pendant required for T-Rock.
Potentially, yeah.
Of course, other less critical items like Lamp.
It looks like our first Skullwoods item, I believe, is the Red Rupee. As DT heads into the mini Mire Cave here on the side, we shall see. He's got the mirror out for Blocky Race Glitch. Piece of heart. Oh, and the hammer!
With a hammer.
Oh, it's hammer time!
That blows everything open now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Willard finds the second item in Skullwoods, another Red Rupee. So unfortunately, Skullwoods not paying off for Willard, but he does need to complete it. I believe he did not get the Fire Rod, so he has to actually go and pay a visit to our friend at the Magic Bat.
Yeah, also important to note that we've seen the Misery Mire required medallion, and it is in fact Quake.
So potentially no Bombos. Potentially. It's a good thing, because they potentially don't have to go to Ice Palace. So it looks like DT is going to be heading into Thieves Town. Not a bad decision. He's still got to find Hookshot, Ice Rod, and maybe Lantern. Both of these players know how to do dark rooms, so finding it isn't going to be a huge deal. But
with either of these runs.
Oh my God! It's the Ice Rod.
Our big troll item, the Ice Rod, will not be trolling these runners today.
But hookshot being the last item?
Looks like both of these players are gonna they'll call it go mode without lamp. Neither of them need it. Either of them can. That's not gonna be an issue. Yeah, looks like they need just hookshot asterisk potentially bombos.
Yeah, we still don't know what the medallion is for Turtle Rock, so it could be a Schrodinger's go mode if they find the if they find the hook shot before they've checked Turtle Rock.
Schrodinger's go mode. We don't know until we've seen Turtle Rock.
Oh man, some people are calling hook shot at cold stare. I think that would be my worst nightmare.
That would be brutal. As brutal as hookshot it.
I don't recall whether or not this logic requires hookshot for Ice Palace or not.
I'm not. I don't believe it.
Because I know there was some adjustments made to Ice Palace with the newer versions, but I don't recall particularly what they were.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I know in current versions, that's really not gonna happen. Well, unless there's an early. Still potentially may.
Yeah. So, Willard looking at the entrance requirements for Misery Mire while heading in to grab his hammer from the Mini Mire cave here. So, at the moment, both players looking for just the hook shot, which I do not believe. If Ice Palace logic does require that they have the hook shot, then it can't be on pedestal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm expecting to find the hook shot on East Death Mountain at this point.
That does seem very logical, considering the amount of chests that are there. That would be something that I would check very early.
Yeah, well, now that they've got the hammer in their possession, you know, they can head on over to Death Mountain.
So another common place, I know in the current logic, to find items is Palace of Darkness, pod. With the older logic, of course, the earlier you find the bow, the more likely pod had an item of value in. So because they got the book, which led to the shovel, which eventually led to the bow, there still could potentially be the hookshot in here. I don't think it's as high of a chance as East Death Mountain, though.
Probably not, but Willard's still making a highly sensible choice. He's clearing a crystal dungeon, and it's a crystal 5, crystal 6. I clear it anyway. It's full of chests.
Yeah. And he does have to find the big key before he gets to the boss anyways. Potentially could end up finding the item that he's looking for. So DT is looking like he's going to be heading through Skullwoods. I wonder, because of Ice Palace being a pendant and him only needing hookshot, if he's actually even going to look at the pedestal item.
That is true. He may just... But, you know, in the heat of a race, and sometimes you're not thinking... And, I mean, he could easily, even if it's a mistake to do so, check it anyway.
Yeah,
that would certainly be minor compared to, you know, any number of possible errors of judgment. Ooh!
He's got a fairy. She's got a fairy. It's okay. We're all good. So he just needs a couple more hits here. Unfortunately, Mothula doesn't take much damage when gets hit into spikes, so a few extra hits, unfortunately, but grabs himself his next crystal, and he's going to be heading on his way. So, Willard heading through Pod, he's found himself a heart container already. No big key yet. So it looks like DT is going to be opting to check this chest here because he's already over here. Not a bad decision. Unfortunately, we know that was not going to yield him anything good because Willard found the 2 items on the other side of Skullwoods.
Yep, and gets himself, unfortunately, just the compass for his time and effort. And ooh, I think we are going to see.
And it looks like we are. Oh, maximum health increase. I believe that is a heart container.
Unfortunate, but here we have it.
So no pedestal required seed today, unfortunately, guys. Or at least not for this race.
I suppose it could have been the Bombos medallion.
So we have so Willard's found Cape, he's found a heart container, there's a few more items, he's found a lot of keys. Nice, grabs himself a heart piece, and that way he's able to go into the basement with full health. He doesn't have the lantern yet, so it'll be nice for him to have at least. Gets another heart piece. And a key. So DT is going to be grabbing his 20 rupees here in a moment. Another key, so that should be all the keys required for Pod. So I don't know if he found both the map and the compass yet. So we're gonna get to see some darkroom navigation. So actually no, he hasn't found the big key or the map or the compass. So he's got one more item in here. He's gonna be hoping that he probably finds it soon. He found the map, so that means big key, bottom chest. Oh, and DT. Was that, I don't believe that was intentional.
Well, not with the save and quit after it.
Might have been intentional. He did grab the, he did grab the item and then turn towards the mini Moldorm and whack into it. I think it was intentional.
I would have, with the save and quit afterwards, I would have think it would be quicker to just hit select, but...
Maybe. But might have wanted, I don't know, might have wanted some help. Willard grabbing the key there, finds the compass. Unfortunately, that means Helmasaur has the last item. So it looks like DT is also heading into Pod. So neither of them are going to check East Death Mountain first, which is interesting. They might opt to just check it before they head up to Turtle Rock, maybe, but they're gonna want to do Swamp Palace, which requires Hookshot. Swamp Palace actually could have it in it. It has 6 potential items in Swamp Palace, so not a bad place to check either. But it's very quick to do if you're in go mode, at least.
Yeah, Swamp Palace having probably one of the biggest differences between go mode and non-go mode when you're navigating that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing our first Eastern Palace. So first chest is red rupees.
Now, it's important to remember, too, that most of the stuff in Eastern, these players have had access to since the very beginning, so if there's something major in here like Hookshot, that could make them really nervous about actually found.
Yeah, and one of the other things to note is that Willard actually has no fire source at the moment. So whereas DT, when he comes into Pod, he can use his fire rod in the basement to at least light up the turtle room. Willard is going to have to do it completely blind. But he's making quick work of it.
Yeah, seems to be doing rather well for himself, although health's getting a little low there.
Yeah, but I think he's got one more that he's got to do. Oh no! But I think he still has his fairy.
He does.
He has his fairy. There we go. And it looks like DT did find his second item, which was the bomb upgrade. So Willard is going to push that block down. He's going to head into the last room there. So he's going to be heading into the Helmosaur fight momentarily, out of the dark, into the light, into hell. Helmosaur's room. Ha ha ha. Funny. Cheesy puns. So here we go. Helmosaur needs 17 hits to the face with a hammer. And Willard makes easy work of it.
And what do we get for our trouble besides a crystal? Well,
a blue boomerang! It's the bloomerang.
Blue boom, best boom.
And looks like Eastern yielding absolutely nothing for DT. So if they would have gone into Eastern at the very beginning, they would have found a whole lot of nilch.
Yeah, definitely the right call, waiting till so that they don't have to, double up on their Eastern palaces.
Yeah, absolutely. Both having silver arrows, they're going to make really quick work out of Armos as well. So both of them having 2 crystals, both having Tower of Hera. DT has Skullwoods, and Willard having Pod. Well, now DT having Eastern Palace. I believe DT is probably going to head into Pod now. So they're not too far off from each other.
Yeah, it seems like both runners, other than the Order, are making the altogether sensible decision to do both of these at once.
Yeah, this means that this could all come down to execution.
Yeah, although without the Fire Rod or the Ice Rod, that puts Willard in a bit of a position. I mean, if DT, if he just gets the hook shot after they leave this area, DT will be in go mode, whereas Willard will still be checking everything.
That is true. Checking Thieves Town though for this version of Logic was is always a really good idea. There always seemed to be something good in Thieves Town because of the logic would indicate that the easier the item or the places to access, the more likely an item would be found there. So there was some weight given towards Thieves Town because the only thing that you need to get into it is access to Dark World. You don't even require gloves to lift anything. You can just go around. It's literally the only dungeon. Of course you need hammer to complete the thing, but not necessarily if there's a map or something in there.
Yeah, and it's also even more important to note that since blind takes the same damage from any sword, you can just walk right in, even if you've just got the fighter's sword, whatever. Just go in and do it. It's one of those really ones that's real tempting to do early.
Yeah, so I'm still banking on Death Mountain for the hook shot. I think it's definitely a really high probability of it being there. You've got the eight chest. There's also still Spike Cave. They haven't checked either. There's quite a bit on Death Mountain still.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's where our players are going to head after they've cleared this Eastern pod duo.
So because DT has that fire source, like I was talking about, the fire rod, he's able to light these rooms up and gain access to, being able to see where he's going. And that gives him the fake light source in the room as well. So when he leaves, he can also see up the middle, which doesn't really help him considering he's on the edge, but looks like Willard, however, is going to be heading up to East Death Mountain. So we might get our first opportunity to see what's up here. There's also Hera. Sorry. I'm gonna guess he will definitely find Lantern up here.
Lamp. Potentially. It's also another possibility. And this would be very bad for Willard. Possible that the hook shot could be in the Hera basement.
Yep. Ooh, yeah.
That could be disastrous for Willard.
Looks like a Pizza Heart on the ledge there. DT's about to get his compass here. Willard about to take out his hook shot, then quickly realized he doesn't have one. So we're about to see Spiral Cave. Ah, just a piece of heart. So yeah, if Willard happens to find Lantern, I wonder if he might take a step into Hera, considering he's already here. His life total, though. He's got the
Willard.
mirror.
Coming into the real treasure trove of this game here.
So 2 chests
the
down here.
Legendary 7 chest.
Yep. And 5 upstairs and finds Bombos! Potentially unlocking Turtle Rock, because we don't know what unlocks that yet. So...
Well, it's open to Willard, whatever it is.
Yep, absolutely. He's got all 3 medallions, no matter what it is. So far... Oh, there's the... You know what? I knew it!
There's that lamp.
Yeah. It makes complete sense with the fact that they've already been in pod. That would be something... that would be something that he would find. So we might actually find... Let's see. He might go into Dark Death Mountain. He's got the ability to. Looks like he's probably going to. It'll be nice for us to see what is on Death Mountain here for Turtle Rock's access requirement. DT's making really quick work of this turtle room here.
Quake, so this was a double Quake seed.
So neither Ether nor Bomb was required.
And Quake was the first medallion they found as well, so. Oh, Willard's heading into Turtle Rock for some reason without either rod. Be heading very far in. Not really a gamble since he can't. Oh, if he doesn't find a key in here, this first room, he's not getting it at all. So. Oh, but he does though. That's. We know. You know, he can't really finish up in here, and he's got to do it either way. So.
Yeah, he's taking a really huge gamble.
Yeah, this could prove disastrous.
It'll be interesting if he finds the hook shot here.
That's true. That could be. Oh, but he cannot go any further.
Nope, he found the big key, but because he doesn't have a fire rod, he can't light the torches.
All right, so I guess luckily for Willard, the dungeon was unkind.
Yeah, you know what? If he was missing one rod or the hook shot, I could see a gamble. But with both rods missing, I don't know. That was pretty risky.
Yeah.
He'd have to find basically everything he's looking for in that dungeon in order to complete it.
I think he was trying to plays that would guarantee a win, but
so we'll get to see the first hookshot area here. The first area, a chest of Hookshot Cave, which does not have the hookshot. So no, maybe I think Spike Cave is the last potential Dark World or Death Mountain location besides Tower of Hera, of course.
yeah, but it looks like that's where Willard's headed right now. So we're gonna have an answer to that question.
He has a lantern now, so he can check Hera basement. So it looks like only 50 rupees from Catfish. Not paying off, unfortunately for DT. So where do you think he's headed next? He doesn't look like has any intention of going to Death Mountain at the moment. Although he's not particularly going to find anything besides the lantern up there. But having lantern for at least Misery Mire is a pretty nice thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what exactly.
Peg Cave.
Yeah, it looks like decided to go check the Peg Cave. So again, this is one of those locations. I've seen the hookshot here multiple times. This could be screen. We could see the hookshot in 10 seconds for all we know.
All right, we're about to see what was in Hera's basement. Was the trip worth it? 300 rupees, not what he's looking for. So there we go. Now DT is about to make the trek up Death Mountain. At least he'll find himself the lantern. Getting the spin speed off. Willard gonna be grabbing that fairy because he's about to go into the spike room. You need either 14 hearts or some sort of invincibility item so that you can get through here. Got 1 heart left. Gotta make it through here really quick because that cape uses an awful lot of magic. Quick! Woo!
Just makes it.
Oh, and only for 20 rupees. Oh, that is not what he wants.
That is an unfortunate. That's an unfortunate situation because Willard's now lost all his magic. Although with common as they seem to be in this scene, that's not exactly a huge loss.
So potentially vanilla hookshot.
It's entirely possible.
Still potential. There's also, of course, Mire, where Willard is heading right now.
Yeah, Meyer and no real reason not to do Meyer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the only item that's really needed for it, which is Cane of Samaria. Uses
there
that
we
green
go.
potion.
There we go, breaking out that green potion.
Both players using Quake, 2 different locations at once.
Stallion high five, so to speak.
So DT is about to access this chest down here at the bottom, the only one that does not require the hookshot in Hookshot Cave. You can access it with bonking, and logic does state if you can bonk, hookshot can be in that chest. So
Yep, absolutely. And as Chat's pointed out, going to Misery Mire at this point, that's going to open up the double-chested fairy. So this is we get a little more bang for our buck here.
that's true as well. He has done pod, so it's all coming down to the hookshot. It's really actually something I haven't seen as a troll item.
Yeah, it's not.
Even if Swamp wasn't required, it's still, unless you can hover, it's still required for Gannett's Tower.
It's not common. You usually expect to see, Ice Rod or Fire Rod being the troll item. Maybe even Flute or something, but...
Yeah, so DT picking up his bombos here. He's about to grab his lantern, which I'm sure he's going to be happy about before going into Mire.
Yeah, both of our runners, of course, able to do Mire without a lamp, but that doesn't make it at all a pleasant experience.
Absolutely, especially when you're going in with lower heart totals. It's not the lowest that it can be, but green mail doesn't help any. So Willard also, I don't believe, has checked completely all the chests in Mire.
Yeah, I don't believe he did any of the western half.
Yeah, he just grabbed the big key and then started going. So he's in go mode without quite a bit of the items, or at least maybe he's just trying to get the double-chested fairy and hoping that he's skipping something that's actually not necessary.
Yeah, it's the kind of risks that we can sort of expect Willard to be taking in something this high stakes. He's going to be going for the gambles that run the risk of paying, they might pay off big because he needs a good, healthy lead if he wants to get that, so...
Well, he got item number 2, or item number 1 at least. So they're just looking for hookshot at the moment. Willard still needs Ice Rod, which was in Thieves Town, Fire Rod, which was at the Magic Bat. But besides that, the only thing that we really haven't seen is hookshot. It looks like DT is heading back into Hera Basement. Both players making the same kinds of decisions. I think that Willard is going to take a peek into Thieves Town. Oh, maybe going actually to check the pedestal?
It looks like it.
He's got Titan's Mitt, so he shouldn't need to access Dark World this way.
Yeah, it looks like he's going up to check the pedestal.
Not a bad decision. He doesn't know that Fire Rod and Ice Rod are out in the world right now, so he still believes that those two could be things that are on the pedestal, because he doesn't know where they are yet. But yeah, definitely I definitely expected Willard to make some huge gambles here. So if he finds something like the hook shot that takes DT a bit, it could give him the opportunity at least to catch up. I think DT might be heading into Spike Cave now as well, as Willard opts to potentially check the Bat Cave. Or maybe drop off the blacksmith here, because he hadn't done that yet. I'm hoping that leads him to Magic Bat, which will give him at least the Fire Rod.
Yeah, that'll get him on towards Skull Woods then, because unlike DT, Willard has been unable to complete Skull Woods up to this point.
Alright, so DT, saving, quitting, being in Dark World, he needs to mirror over to Light World, and then this will be interesting to see where he decides to go next. So it looks like he's betting? He's heading back to Kakariko. He pretty much cleared this out last time, but I don't recall if he went up north side of Hyrule.
Yeah, I believe Willard's done North Hyrule. I'm not sure if DT has up to this point. That could seems to be heading south.
Oh, it might be going in to clean up Thieves Town.
Yep,
he hadn't finished it, so could be something of worth in here. And it looks like Willard is about to grab his Fire Rod. Here we go. So we have our Magic Bat giving Willard the Rod of Fire.
Willard.
Oh, unfortunately.
Tempting to dash there.
Yeah. Thank goodness, grabbing that chest there. Before he gets locked out, DT getting dangerously low on health there, but grabs the fairy, and he should be good now. I'm really interested to see if anyone decides to go into Swamp to see a vanilla hookshot location.
Well, it's starting to seem increasingly probable.
There is 6 items in Swamp. Not all of them, of course, are accessible right away. You need the hookshot for some of them, but potentially could be something of worth in there.
It's funny how a vanilla item location can actually be quite the troll. Shot, quite the troll. Vanilla hammer is quite the troll. Vanilla bow, pretty bad troll to a certain extent. Samaria.
Yeah. Pretty much vanilla anything.
Yeah, vanilla fire rod, kind of undesirable.
So Willard has Fire Rod. He's going to be heading through Skull Woods. He knows he's got the 2 items from here, so he just needs to go and kick Mothula in the butt. As DT cleans up Thieves Town, this could be really interesting if Hookshot is in here, because Pendant Dungeon, not even Green Pendant Dungeon.
Yeah, this could be the gamble that puts DT way ahead. We'll find out very soon, though. 2 items remaining in Thieves Town.
Oh, so far a heart container. That was Stank Heart, by the way. You know it's Stank Heart if it refills your life counter here. So, ooh, unfortunately getting knocked off there. At least there's a heart on the bridge. So as Willard heads into the Mothula fight, DT is going to be right behind him on the blind fight. So Willard making really quick work of Mothula. Grabs himself his burrito.
Willard actually practicing the moth fight immediately before the start of this race.
Yeah, it does a very good job. And interestingly enough, in what was it, before version 8? I think actually maybe it was version 7, before version 7, the tempered sword was actually the highest sword that you could damage Mothula on. You never wanted to grab the butter sword before you killed Mothula. You might...
I don't seem to recall if that was a version 5 or version 6 change, but that was certainly a change that happened around that point.
Yeah, in the older versions, you actually couldn't damage Mothula with the butter sword, so it caused a whole heck of a lot of fun. So if I were Willard and DT, and I was still looking for the hookshot once I cleared every other pendant dungeon or crystal dungeon, I would head to Swamp before going to Ice Palace, before going into Desert, or not Desert Palace, but definitely before Ice Palace. And it looks like Willard is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you don't want to risk potentially sinking a lot of time into Ice Palace when it's, it's completely unnecessary. Well, potentially unnecessary.
So, looks like he could actually also be checking Double-Chested Fairy as well, which looks like more likely what he's gonna do.
Yeah, certainly something I would do before checking either dungeon. Alright.
So the interesting thing here too as well, Willard did not get both items from Misery Mire. So if Hookshot is in Misery Mire, this could be a huge, huge loss, time loss for Willard.
Well, we are just about to see what the Double-Chested Fairy has in store for our runners.
So, Piece of Heart. Oh, and
Ooh,
a green rupee.
The single rupee.
That is troll rupee.
Yeah, pretty disappointing Double-Chested Fairy this run, but not a lot that could have been there in the first place at this point.
So Willard looking for Ice Rod and Hookshot. We know Ice Rod is in Thieves Town. Willard is in the vicinity for Thieves Town. Might pop his face into it. So he knows he can't clear Turtle Rock without Ice Rod, and I don't know if he would make the gamble without also finding Hookshot first.
Well, it looks like he's not going to need to make the gamble.
Nope, he's going to find Ice Rod like right away.
Alright, DT finding one of the items in...
Yeah, and bombs are at Vitria, so...
Yeah, he's...
And Willard finding Ice Rod. So now they are both caught up on items, at least.
Willard just does the front 4 and leaves, or if he decides to stay and do the entire thing. Because of course we know, doing the entire rest of Thieves at this point completely unnecessary.
Yeah, he's gonna grab the big key here. He might grab these 2 chests and leave. It is the kind of gamble that Willard would take.
Yes, it looks like that. Wait.
He pulls out the mirror and then keeps going. I'm not sure if he's... Oh, that sneaky red guy hiding under the bridge. Oh, DT! DT! You don't have... Oh, no!
Ooh, DT gets sniped in the back by a Wizrobe.
Darn those Wizrobes. I hear they make trolley seeds. So DT is opting to temporarily skip Misery Mire and instead go grab some potions. He definitely has the he definitely has the bottles for them, that's for sure. He can actually speak to the attendant in there and fully heal himself, but not going to waste any time. Going to head straight back over here. And so he doesn't have Misery Mire Crystal. So
Yeah,
he's not checking Double-Chested Fairy.
Just swamp then, I suppose. He's done everything else in this direction. He has to be going to swamp. Alright, so now we're going to see if we can confirm your theory of a vanilla swamp, which at this point looks pretty likely.
Hookshot could also be in Turtle Rock. So that would be even worse, I think, personally. Especially after putting all this time into swamp, if it's not in here. Ugh.
Yeah, and you know, when Turtle Rock is a crystal and you can do it last, you kind of want to do it last because then you're well positioned to head straight for Ganon's Tower, so.
Yeah, and swamp is really fast to clear if you do not need to check anything in it. So it might be interesting. This still could be anyone's race. Although DT was in the lead for a little bit, Willard has very quickly caught up. And, oh my god. Well, there's the hook shot. So
and that chest, too.
That means, my friends, DT officially in go mode.
Yeah, and finding it that early in the swamp is great news, because he's going to be able to just skip the entire western wing of swamp. He'll be able to skip every chest in the dungeon that he hasn't opened. Every chest he hasn't already opened.
Yep, absolutely. So now it'll be interesting to see what kind of plays Willard makes after this. He will be ahead by a pendant or by a crystal, but DT is going to very quickly close that gap by finishing swamp, and then probably head to Misery Mire to finish that off. Yeah, so this could be really interesting.
It all comes down to what Willard decides to do next.
Because if he goes
heads
to swamp,
straight for swamp, exactly.
Oh, he might. Oh, come on.
He's thinking about it. I think he's going to.
I think he's going to swamp.
He's weighing the risk, and it looks like he's going to take it.
Oh my gosh, this is still a race, guys. Yeah, Willard already checked Double-Chested Fairy, so it is a good idea for him to head down to swamp now. So Willard, as soon as he grabs his hook shot here, will also be in go mode, and he's gonna very, very quickly also finish swamp. So DT is gonna have to go back into Misery Mire, which is a bit of a time loss. As DT heads into the Argus fight, Willard heading into the dungeon momentarily thereafter. It'll all be dependent upon whether or not DT can very, very quickly finish Misery Mire.
Yeah, that very unfortunate, turning out to be very costly death. And as chat's pointing out, I would agree, if DT does not pull this through, the real game changer would have been that Mire death.
Yeah, as we were mentioning earlier, these two are very, very similar with routing, very, very similar with skill level. So it all comes down. It could all come down to frames at the end of the day. It could come down to seconds on the Ganon fight. So DT needs to hustle real quick over to Misery Mire if he expects to stay in this race. So Willard now officially also in go mode. So DT now heading into Mire again. It's gonna need to very, very quickly get through this basement here.
Yeah, essentially, whoever finishes their dungeon's boss first is going to be the one who's in the lead at this point.
And it does, I believe, in my personal opinion, Swamp is going to be quicker, so Willard is going to have the advantage. It could all come down, like I said, to execution in the Ganon Tower. Willard has gone into Turtle Rock as well, so he does have the first key. A couple things already open in there.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an advantage at this point.
Absolutely. Ooh, unfortunately, again, DT getting hit by that Wizrobe. But gets full life there, probably will opt to grab the... Actually, no, he's not grabbing the magic, as Willard is just rooms away from the boss. Argus is also a little bit faster to kill, in my opinion, than Vitreous as well. So...
Yeah, though, Willard's gonna have to really keep on the heat because this is only...
Yeah, and because of the fact that they both have Butter Sword, they both have Silver Arrows, it's going to be a fairly simple Ganon fight as well for both players, with both of them knowing very easy kill strats on him, so...
Yeah, it's gonna pretty much come down to their... not the bosses, and it's gonna be their execution in Ganon's Tower and in Turtle Rock. It's gonna determine this.
Yep, absolutely. Willard grabbing his crystal, DT needing just 2 hits on Vitreous, and he's gonna be heading up. DT grabbing his crystal. Both these guys are so close. It will all depend on Turtle Rock and G Tower. I am so hyped.
This is what, maybe 15 to 20 second gap?
Yeah, they're both heading to Turtle Rock. So we'll look at the time when the first one enters. We can see those sword swings a-going there for DT. He knows. He needs to hustle.
Be a race that could be decided by seconds or even frames.
Yep, absolutely. Oh no, and DT, he's getting dead rock blocked. Oh, but again, Willard has gotten a couple of items in Turtle Rock, so the gap we really won't know until oh, it looks like DT is
lower warp.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think he has opened Turtle Rock either, so not only is he going to have to... Oh, maybe he has. I know Willard for sure has, but I don't recall if DT actually did.
I know DT did not, I believe, open Turtle Rock. And going up this way, several additional screen transitions. This is going to cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, definitely. And it's time, unfortunately, that he does not have at the moment. Okay, so he did open. Yep, he does have it open.
Well, that mitigates some of the time lost then.
Yep. So what they're currently looking for is some keys as well as the big key. I think that Willard has the big key at the moment. Yes, he does. So he's just going to want a couple extra keys so that guarantees him some safe passage.
Yeah, Willard, I believe finding the big key his first time around at the chain shop room.
So I know that Willard likes to take gambles in Ganon's tower. He likes to go right side. It'll be interesting to see if that really pays off for him, if that ends up costing him. Wow, those chain chomps taking a huge chunk of his life off, though.
Yeah, our runners, of course, only with 11 hearts and still green mail, so...
And they're definitely not going to be checking any extra chests. They're just going to be looking for the items, keys required, basically, to progress through the dungeon. As soon as they have those keys, they are going to continue on.
Yeah, so really the only chance we have of seeing armor at this point is going to be in Ganon's tower basement. And should we not find any there, we're going to be heading into Ganon with green.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where I believe Willard found the big key. Yeah, so DT grabbing the big key. And he'll be heading over to this... I don't even know what this room is called. Tunnel room?
Now, this race is close enough that the outcome could be determined by a good or bad Ganon's tower.
Absolutely. Definitely. So it looks like a heart piece there. So I wonder if DT is going to opt to check the big chest as well. There's a potential that it could be a big key in there. They want to have 2 keys going into the laser skip room, or the room before the laser skip room, so that they can avoid at least... Oh, looks like they get it too. They can avoid doing the laser skip room, so they won't need to even step into there.
Yep, and that is, of course, just 4 locations that they will be, you know, the armor could be there, there could be... Well, really, the armor is the only relevant thing that could still be there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be really careful on the Ganon fight, because if you happen to walk into Ganon, that's 8 hearts of damage with green mail, and that's less than a hit, or less than 2 hits, sorry.
Got Willard heading into Trinex.
Now, I remember that DT had picked up a few extra potions as well. Neither of them have bug net. So, green mail, you know, it could come down to even a death and having the right potion.
And we've got a few people keeping track in chat. It looks like the difference between our runners at this point is about 45 seconds, they're saying. Which, you know, sounds about right, so I think we'll believe chat on that.
And Willard making quick work of Trinex. Didn't get the 1 cycle, but did make very quick work of him. Unfortunately, no mail upgrade from Trinex. Just grabs himself some burritos, or 1 burrito. So this crystal, I tend to feel like this crystal is the longest crystal to grab. I don't know why, maybe that's not the case, but to me it feels like it takes a little bit longer on the cutscene. And again, DT, very nice Trinex fight. So, moment of truth, guys. Which chest is the big key in? I see some numbers in chat. Who's gonna
What's
get
your
it right
personal
this
call?
time? I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be a left side, and it will be chest number 7.
Chest number 1, so I think we can go with that.
That would be huge. DT is gonna need it to be on left side. Because Willard, if he can grab the 2 keys on right side, he will go. Or if he can grab the 2 keys there, he will definitely go right side. But no, looks like instead he is opting to change his routine and he's going full left.
Alright, we have DT stepping into Ganon's tower, only, I think, maybe even 30 seconds behind him at this point.
This room seems to have a lot of bomb upgrades. And bombs!
Oh. So this could be it. This could be big.
Small key, Cane of Samaria. Or Cane of Burna, blah. I saw Willard take out Cane of Samaria. Interesting.
Alright, and DT goes left, Willard goes right. This could pay down. This could come down to, you know, paying off on which gamble you take.
Yeah, this is Willard's preferred routing here, so this is nothing unusual for him.
Willard definitely a right side gambler, and you know, it tends to work for him.
It definitely does. It's not very slow to check either. It's actually fairly quick if he can get the key from here. All right, moment of truth. There it is!
There it is!
There it is! There is the key! Oh my gosh, Willard's gamble pays off. That is huge for him. And the chat goes wild. Oh boy, that is definitely a big deal for Willard.
I think Willard's got this. If he just stays the course, doesn't do anything rash, he'll have this in the bag.
Yeah, you know what? Again, he's got green mail, limited health, limited magic. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen at any moment. So this could still be a race. Anyone's race.
Yeah,
but
very
he's
true.
doing a really
very
good
true.
job.
Wow, that spike dodge, that was...
Yeah. And DT finding himself the blue mail.
And yep, looks like Willard opting to open up the fairy room. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely needs those fairies. He doesn't have any nets or anything, and I think he's got a blue potion left though, but he's probably going to want to save that for Ganon.
And as chat's pointing out, DT finding the blue mail. Giving himself a bit of an easier time on Ganon.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're about to see Armos here. Will he find the red mail?
Ooh, Willard clipping into spikes momentarily.
Oh, but he finds the bug net and the butter sword.
Well, hold on. He had the butter sword, so if that was a downgrade, I assume that must have been tempered.
Tempered or mastered? Yeah, that's correct. Willard getting a little bit bodied by the Landmos, but because he's got the butter sword, it's gonna make really quick work. DT must be extremely nervous having to go right side. He knows Willard's playstyle, and he knows that if Willard was in here first, and had gone, or at the same time.
Oh no.
Oh, that door closing on him is not what he wants to see. He doesn't have enough magic. He's gonna have to use his blue potion in order to get that back. That door trolls me in every way. So Willard is just breezing through G-Tower here. But yeah, like I was saying, if I were DT and I knew Willard's playstyle and knew that Willard always went right side and I found the key on the right side, I would be pretty darn nervous.
Yeah, Willard, of course, well known for taking right side gamble very frequently, so it is certainly something that DT is well aware of.
Absolutely. So Willard's going to be taking out the cape here instead of the... He looks like he might be taking no gambles here. He doesn't want to be knocked off the edge. He knows how close this race could be.
Yeah, this, I think, a sensible move. Just don't do anything rash.
Yeah, absolutely. And he grabs the piece of heart from the validation chest. And we're about to go into the Aghanim 2 fight for Willard.
Willard, unfortunately, lacking the net.
Yeah, it looks like no Swaghanim from Willard. Ooh, almost a triple. I think he did get a double. I didn't, unfortunately, because I don't have sound, I can't verify that, but...
They seemed like they were spaced far enough apart that would have doubled. I think he's at 4 hits now.
I think he just needs one more. There you go.
There we go.
DT getting bodied in this gauntlet here. Unfortunately, that's missing. He's down to 2 hearts.
Potions as well. He really wants to be able to get to the end of Gauntlet by the time he runs too low on health, so we can get that fairy and not have to waste his potion.
Exactly. So here we go, guys, into the Ganon fight for Willard. Time to see. He has green mail. He has to be careful not to walk into Ganon.
Ooh. Takes a
Taking
hit
a little bit of damage, yeah. Needs one more hit. There we go. That'll change him to the next phase. He's got to avoid the fire bats here. Hit Ganon. He's got 4 hearts, but he has the potion.
Yeah, but once again, taking no chances.
Absolutely. Gets a few hits there on Ganon. He needs to make the floor around the edge drop. Ganon will say where the silver arrows were, which we know is in Kakariko. Should get 1 hit off there. Is gonna light the torch. Very well done for Willard. Get a 2nd hit off on Ganon here. That's 2.
Oh, he made a double.
4.
Yeah, I think he's got the double.
There we go! GG! Willard finishing up the Ganon fight, officially completing his run in 1st place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 4 seconds. GG to Willard. What a race that was.
And the chat really goes wild. Yeah, amazing comeback. That was insane.
Yeah, that really was an amazing race. And I think the there was some minor things, but ultimately it came down to the Meyer death for DT, as well as Willard's gamble on right side.
Yep, that's what it's. The right side gamble for Willard and the Meyer death, unfortunately for DT for sure, are the two determining, I think, determining moments of this run.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're gonna be getting Willard in here in a few moments for his interview.
Hey, hey.
Hello, Willard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I feel very lucky. Extremely lucky.
Are you watching right now?
No. Where's my boy? Where's my boy at?
He's going into the Ganon fight right now.
Face to face with Ganon.
Right side gamble, dude.
It all came down to you guys were about less than a minute apart going into Ganon's tower. You went right, he went left. So that was kind of ultimately where things unfortunately ended up panning out for DT.
Holy cow. I was not expecting that. I thought I played like crap until I got that hook shot in Swamp Palace, and I was like, all right, this is either really good for me or absolutely devastating for me.
Actually,
And
DT had got it first.
I figured, because it
was.
Go for it. Go, go, go.
I was gonna say,
Go.
it was a lot of back and forth.
Mm.
You were ahead and he was ahead, you were ahead, and it was really hard to tell. Did you think that you were close throughout most of the race, or?
No, I thought I was super far behind because I did Aga Tower and that wasn't required. I don't think it was.
It wasn't required, but you actually both did Aga Tower at the exact same time. So.
Oh my god! I mean, it was that was hilarious because then once I got the flippers, I was like, you know what? Let's take the bunny for a walk, and I was gonna walk down to go do Zora immediately, and I was like, let's go check Ice Rod Cave. And then I found the flute, and I was like, well, I'm screwed. I'm already, like, I was tilted, like, this entire race until I got the hook shot. And I was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. For a while there, actually, DT had the fire rod and the ice rod, was literally only looking for the hook shot. DT found the hook shot in Swamp, and you were just finishing up Thieves Town, immediately fluted over to Swamp and caught up. We're neck and neck. The unfortunate thing, though, was that DT had taken a death in Misery Mire and still had to go back to complete that. While you were finishing up Swamp, he was finishing up Misery Mire, and that's what brought you guys to Turtle Rock together.
Wow. Wowie. Did you guys see... First of all, did you guys see when I went into T-Rock for no reason?
I did. We commented on that.
Yeah, we were really concerned, and we were actually glad for you that the dungeon was pretty unforgiving, because if they had let you go pretty far in there...
Mm-hmm. I went in as a joke, and then it stopped me. I was like, okay, the joke is over, let's leave. And then I also went to Ice Palace and then heard the music. I was like, wait, no, that's not right. I'm out of here. Oh, man. But yeah, the green mail the entire time. Was there a blue mail on the left side of G Tower or no?
There was
Okay.
blue mail. I don't know where red mail is because we did not see it. But yeah, blue mail was on left side.
Wow, I can't believe it came down to another, 3 minute to DT in my boy.
Yeah, DT, it was 3 minutes. He has finished second with the official SRL time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 18 seconds. So, yeah, just about 3 minutes.
Wow.
3 minutes, 14 seconds. So,
see,
very close race.
I felt behind the entire time. I was literally sitting here, pissed off. I was on tilt the entire race until I got the hook shot, and then that boosted my spirits a tiny. Well, I got the ice rod, and I was like, eh? Then I went to Swamp and got the hook shot. I was like, eh? And then I did right side. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna go out, I might as well go out doing what I love. gambling. So I did the whole Christos, Dark Magician, that whole silly right side. And there it was. I was like, I might win this. I might win this.
When you found the big key on the right side, it was a lot of hype was going on.
Exploded.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I'll have to
it
go
was
back and
so
watch
close.
that.
It was really close. You guys were both in there pretty much at the same time, so it was all dependent upon who found the key first. So it was quite exciting to watch. It was quite exciting to commentate for. Chat, if you haven't already, make sure you give these guys a follow. Amazing racers, amazing runners, amazing commentators, amazing streamers. Definitely need to give them both your love. So
yeah, guys, share the love. Seriously. What insane. I can't even go watch this. Oh my gosh. You know, my walk to G Tower was like, okay, the only reason I did that route was because I thought I was behind. And I was, like, by a minute, right?
You actually were, because of the fact that DT had died and Meyer had to go back, and then you were actually ahead because of your, because of the fact you went into Turtle Rock and found the key. You were actually ahead because you had already cleared a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
The other big gamble I did was once I got the big key in Meyer, I just said, well, I don't feel like looking for one more item. Let's just hope Vitreous has something. And then Vitreous had bombs. I said, well, I'm not going back in. Whatever. Let's just do something else. No, not the DK bummer.
It was definitely really close. About 45 seconds to a minute apart from each other going into GT, and you were ahead. I'm gonna bring in DT, and we're gonna get some comments from him as well. Hello, DT.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Hey
there we go.
Yeah.
Hi.
There it is. Hey.
GG on the race. It was a very great race to watch. My goodness. You guys did an excellent job. How are you feeling about the whole, about the seed in general, DT?
The seed itself, I mean, you always hear people say there's no more trolley location to put something than its vanilla dungeon. And, I mean, that holds true in this case.
Did you full clear Beefstown?
Yeah, I went ahead and beat it. After getting the ice rod there fairly early, I think it was the ice rod. I don't know. I never remember what happens in these.
Yeah, it was in like the second chest or the first chest.
Yeah, I decided to head back later on and check the rest of it, full clear it, and of course it was useless. But I've seen too many useful things.
You got a
in
red
there,
pendant, and the sand cart was in there, so
I didn't even pay attention to what heart it was.
Yeah. Dude, GG. I thought I was losing this entire race just because I was like, all right, I did Aga, and then Aga wasn't required. And then I found the flute afterwards in Ice Rock Cave. I was like, well, I'm behind like a ton.
Yeah,
And
I felt ahead for a while, especially after getting the hammer relatively early, and then I searched way too long for the hookshot. My execution was not nearly on point tonight.
Dude, green tunic the entire race. Like, come on.
I wound up getting blue.
Well, until G Tower at least.
Yeah.
The hard part was all green tunic. When did you eventually get the flute? After G Tower or Aga Tower?
Before checking Zora. It was after Aga Tower. I got the flippers, and then I decided to swim all the way down and check that, and then take the void
so we did
up
the same
to check.
thing.
You guys were literally doing the same thing throughout most of the seed.
Get out of my head, Charles.
You know, the scariest thing, and it
Around
would have completely lost this for me, even more so, I mean, is that when I finally went up to Death Mountain, I so strongly considered doing Turtle Rock right then.
I did. But Chain Chomp Room had, because I went in there before having the Fire Rod or Ice Rod, so I was like, let's see what happens now.
Okay.
And I got to the Chain Chomp Room, which had the big key. I was like, well, time to go.
Yeah, because at that point, I only needed the hook shot when I could have entered Turtle Rock.
Oh, I thought about that after clearing Thieves, because that's when I got the Ice Rod, and I was like, we could go up to T-Rock and hope that the hook shot's in there. but I gambled on that swamp, and that's why I hate Swamp Palace. It's the new Ice Palace. It's always bad. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, we were really worried about Ice Palace. Being the green pendant, did you guys worry at all about the fact that you might have to do Ice Palace to check the Sahasrara item when you saw it at least the first time?
There was definitely a consideration, and then, you know what? To be honest, I'm not sure about this. Carcat could probably answer this on the spot. I don't know if that entire dungeon is meant to be routed without the hookshot.
Well,
we actually
we had a little discussion about that, and this particular version, the logic is such that the hookshot could be in most of Ice, but I don't think it could be in Cold Stare.
Right, which is why I really didn't even consider the green pendant for it once that was the only
Right.
thing I needed.
I think I went there before doing Thieves, and I walked in because for some reason I thought it was the crystal. No, I didn't even have the fire rod at that point, and I was like, let's go see what's in here. And then I heard the music. I was like, let's get out of here. The stupidest thing. Here's what I love about this game. It's like, okay, I just got powder from digging game. I should go ahead and do chest and all that stuff, but I'm gonna keep going south and do all that crap, looking for the hammer. And then of course,
In this logic, the hookshot can indeed be a Cold Stare.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
Okay.
mentioned that earlier because I was like, I know there was some changes to the logic for Ice Palace between
Yeah.
this logic and the current logic, and I thought that the hookshot was one reason. So
Relating to Cold Stare holding or blocking the hookshot, there were changes.
So yeah,
Well,
that would have
go
been
there.
that would have
Regardless,
been the worst thing.
because that would have been the last place I would have gone, thinking that because of the one room that you do need a hookshot in a pure no glitches run, that it wouldn't have been there. But wow, interesting.
did you full clear Meyer?
Mostly, I didn't do the vanilla big key chest.
Okay, I got in there, and as soon as I got the big key in the spike room, I just said, nope, I'm just gonna clear it and hope that Vitreous has something or blah blah blah. And then Vitreous had bombs, and I was like, well, let's do something dumb and not finish this dungeon, which ended up working out.
Yeah.
I also have regrets because once again, it's just like our first race where I'm like, well, I could go up and do East Death Mountain. I have the hammer. Let's go do Eastern and Pod instead. And then I did that in the dark, and then Lantern was on freaking Death Mountain. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself every time? But,
The funniest thing, would you believe that the two of you did Eastern and Pod in opposite order, but at the same time, and finished about the same time?
That's funny.
DT,
Funny.
stop. Stop it.
The interesting thing though is, of course, DT had checked Magic Bat, so he had Fire Rod, so he
Once
was able to
again.
do those
Oh.
those turtle rooms.
I still
with
had trouble in that
Fire
turtle
Rod.
room though. That turtle
I
room
had to do
still
that-
gave me some problems.
I did it dark. Once again, the Fire Rod is the new troll item for me, I guess. That's 3 races in a row where I've had to play through most of it without the Fire Rod. And then,
Generous as the bottles were, they didn't give you a B for that room either.
I know. I actually died there and had to use my safety fairy, but Buttersword actually helped. Getting Buttersword in, in the dam, or at least in Kakariko, I was instinctively wanting to type Resident Sleeper into speed gaming chat, as I often do. Of course, I didn't have it open because that would be cheating. I didn't cheat, guys. But anyway, yeah, that was a silly seed. Shoutouts to Coffee.
Yeah, it was definitely an excellent race to watch. You guys were very close, doing very similar routing. It was definitely flip-flopping back and forth. DT in the lead for quite a while with the Fire Rod and Ice Rod, but looking for that hook shot, unfortunately, was very trolly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that very unfortunate death in Misery Mire
Ooh,
from that Wizrobe there.
don't remind me.
Oh, he got Wizrobed?
Yeah,
Dude, those guys do a lot of. They do 3 hearts of damage with their little
4
blazer
I think,
beams.
isn't it?
Is it 4?
Yeah, I think it's 4 with the actual laser beams.
Even running into them, it's 4.
Yeah, you had
Oh,
walked into them and then got hit by them again, and so.
Did you have a mirror
unfortunately-
shield?
Yeah,
he was dashing
I was trying
at
something
them.
specific.
Back.
It didn't work.
Oh, okay. Rough.
And then I wound up dying there, and at that point I was like right before the big key door, and I'm just thinking, you know what? I don't want to do this dungeon again right now. I needed to clear my head, and that's when I went to Swamp and found the hookshot, and I'm like, well, I lose.
How heavy on the back of your mind was that Tower of Hera basement chest weighing on you guys?
I went back and did it.
I did
It
too.
had nothing in it.
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
both
Because
did.
I once I went back up to do Death Mountain and got the lantern, I was like, well, let's go do that in Spike Cave, and both of them had junk. That's
Yep.
why I felt like I was behind the whole time, because I was doing all these single items that take time,
Yeah, me too.
but then and then DT's doing the same thing, so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're both we're
You
both
know
dumb.
one thing that I did do this time, Will, that I learned from last time?
What?
I checked the pedestal, thinking this could have still been a Bombo seed.
I did too, thinking that it could hold the fire rod, because I had bombos.
Yeah, or Ice Rod because you didn't have that one either.
Fair enough.
Right.
The fact-
So
The fact that you two practiced together really showed during this race.
Very, very
Around
much so.
each other it was a dance the entire time,
Interesting.
That's
beginning to
awesome.
end.
You know, it's funny
Like-
too, because so many things about our routing do differ, but not in this case.
I mean, I guess
You-
it's almost the same as our first race, where it was a 2-minute difference. Is it just from playing together? I don't know. I guess we talk about similar routing strategies or something. But
You know, it's appropriate enough. I know that, Will, you kind of changed the way that you keep stats and whatnot, but just for a cumulative thing, out of all of the races you and I've been in together now, which is right around 20, you and I are like literally right around 500 with each other.
yeah, let me.
So, I mean,
let me pull it up.
it goes to show that just even from this, I think.
Let me pull up my stupid matchup chart. I think we are still. Yeah, we're 8-8 or something like that. I have real weird rules, and I haven't accounted for the race, the tournament. So, but yeah, we're pretty neck and neck. So,
So
dang it,
this means,
DT.
Willard,
DT.
you are moving on
Oh, boy.
in the brackets. Are you
I
nervous?
went to lose to New
Are you
Life.
excited?
It's gonna be great. Speaking of records, I have a tremendous losing record to New Life. So he's got like double the wins. So let's go! It's gonna be great. No, I am excited. Honestly, whoever won this, I would have been excited. And because at the same time, it's like, well, if DT won, then I would just commentate the rest of his races. And I'm assuming the reverse is also going to apply. I better see you sign up. I'm going to request you, DT. I'm going to go to you to see for scheduling. So
Fair enough, man. Sounds good.
good stuff. So
Well,
how about
that's
that Mario
very-
Party game?
Oh, we
It
didn't
was a-
tie, so there is no Mario Party.
Dude, I was when I went for my run earlier today, right before I started streaming, I was like daydreaming about this photo finish where we finished within like a second of each other or something like that, and somehow force this game 4 for Mario Party. But I guess we'll just have to do a Mario Party for fun then.
I guess so.
Well, it was a very great race. I'm very excited to see your next matches, Willard. And thank you guys very much for the wonderful race. Chat, if you haven't already, again, make sure you give these guys a follow. Great runners, great streamers, great commentators. You'll love them. Give them some love. Yeah, great job, both of you. Congrats, Willard, and very good game, DT.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say really quickly, even though, yes, I do plan on commentating a bit more as I'm able to, now that I'm officially out of the tournament, just an absolute major thanks to everybody involved. Way too many people to name. All of the organizers, restreamers, the developers, and of course the racers, the people coming through to chat. The hype is so real. This Link to the Past community is outstanding. You guys are fantastic. It was a great pleasure racing. I have no regrets. It's bittersweet, of course, but well done to everybody involved. Thanks for making this happen.
Ditto.
Yeah, very much.
Well
Great.
said.
Thank you to Feasel, Dark Magician, and everyone else at Speed Gaming, all the admins, everyone, even the people behind the scenes doing the scheduling, the people doing the highlighting, the wonderful tracker. We have S Diesel here doing our trackery, and Hie, who was here earlier, also doing our tracking. So give them some love as well.
GG, everybody.
GG.
Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. Unfortunately, there's no more races for today, but tomorrow there's a Mega Man X2 tournament race at 3 p.m. EDT and Donkey Kong Country at 11 p.m. EDT. So make sure you guys come back, follow Speed Gaming for all your speed gaming needs. I know I do. So have yourselves a great night. Thank you guys so much again for the race. And we will see everybody tomorrow back on Speed Gaming.
I'm gonna do one of these. There, I did it. Now get out of here. I speak in whistles. Nothing else. GG, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait to go back and watch all of this. This is going to be very entertaining. So, love you guys.
Something to watch.
Absolutely.